Welcome back to Slinger Speedway. Dwayne Mosley, Jim Trado, and Bill Kremering as we are just seconds away from getting underway with the late model semi-feature. The green flag, and we are underway. As you see the cars in the field head into turn number 1 and through 2, and on the backstretch being led by Mike Laplander out of Heartland in car number 76.
Laplander, the pole sitter, out to an early lead. The 00 car is Ron Reagan. That's an old Scott Hansen chassis. Scott Hansen, a regular on the ASA, American Speed Association circuit. So Reagan has a car that has been competing throughout the entire Midwest, but now it's his with a new engine, etc. His adjustments. He's now running in that second position. His 69 Larry Hafe spins on the front straightaway.
And car number 7, Al Schill Jr., and Al dropping from a close second back to the number 4 spot as we have Larry Hafe's.
We've got some torn-up race cars. 15 Scotty Eifler obviously got into 69 Larry Hafe's. Hafe spun down on the apron on the front straightaway, came back up towards turn 1 and got his rear end tagged, a good one by Scotty Eifler's number 15. Also involved the 27 of Phil Banda. Phil spinning, I believe, without getting too much damage on his machine, but you can see Scott Eifler's number 15 on the apron just to the left of the screen. But here is 69 Larry Hafe's getting out of shape on the front straightaway and sitting right there in turn number 1. The left rear portion of that car is pretty messed up.
So on the second lap of the semi-feature, we have our first yellow flag. Lap 2 of 25, as you see on your screen. And you see Larry Hafe's car about to be hooked up to the wrecker and removed from the track. It was all happening going into turn number 1. So the yellow here on lap 2. And there you see the yellow car of Scott Eifler out of West Bend. Car number 15, and Scott climbing out of his race car. So it's a tough way to end after getting underway, and on the second lap, Scott Eifler and Larry Hafe's won't be finishing the semi-feature. Al Schill Jr. coming up is going to tell us why, more times than not, he's starting at the rear of the field. Bill Kremering spoke to him earlier tonight.
Well, at first I'm just starting in the back of all my races so I can work my way up there. I don't want to jump into anything and start right up in front and goof anybody else up. So this year I'm just kind of starting in back until I feel good, and then I'll start up where I'm supposed to.
Al Schill Jr., so he's not one involved in this little mishap here on the second lap. You mentioned the car 00, that is moving again, of Ron Reagan. Some smoke coming from that as he pulls back out of the track.
He had some smoke in qualifying also, Dwayne. But getting back to Al Schill Jr., he's got to feel good about staying in front because that accident happened mid-pack. And if he was in the back of the pack where he usually started, okay, maybe he won't start there anymore. But if he started in the back, he may have very well been involved in that. Not only because he's not as experienced as the other racers, but the track looked blocked with Larry Hafe's car in the way and Scott Eifler really getting a piece of it.
Looking at car number 7, that is the car of Al Schill Jr., Al out of Franklin. Cars continue to wind their way through the infield as we are under a yellow.
And we will get Larry Hafe's looked at. We are.
So there was Larry Hafe's, that was Scott Eifler.
He may have gotten the wind knocked out of him, or maybe a sudden movement because that car did hit Larry Hafe's quite hard, and he might have gotten some belt bruises. They run 5-point harness belts in these cars, so they're very secure in the machines. But if you do hit someone at that rate of speed, you're bound to bounce ahead a little bit, like anyone would in a passenger car incident, and may get some bruises out of that. So they're going to take a look at Scott Eifler as we look at the leaderboard.
After one lap, Mike Laplander there in car 76. He's followed by Ron Reagan, Al Schill. Car.
I've seen him in a go-kart. He's pretty dangerous in those, so if he gets in something bigger.
That's where I met John Andretti, go-kart racer.
Really?
3 years ago, Rosemont Horizon, USA, team of 5 drivers and cars against the USSR. We're back racing again under the green. Herb Johnson out of Eau Claire was on that team with John.
I believe John ended up winning it. And
he did.
Mike Laplander is trying to win this one. Again, a 25-lap late model semi-feature. Mike Laplander starting from the front row leading so far, 00 Ron Reagan. And here comes car number 61, Jerry Eckhart, in the Orange Blossom Perennial semi-feature winner, runner, favorite, whatever you want to call him. He's charging towards the front and now challenging for the lead on the back straightaway.
Number 61 from Watertown, Jerry Eckert, 2 weeks ago, the late model semi-feature. Last week he was in the feature race, and there goes Jerry Eckert. He takes over the lead against Laplander, over Laplander, through the first turn, and on the backstretch, speeds his way into turn 3, through that, and fourth and down the front stretch.
Running second is Laplander, third is 00 Ron Reagan, but staying in his own position on the inside line, number 7 Al Schill Jr. in the fourth position, currently with 89 Mike Egan now pulling alongside to the outside.
And car 59 is Keith Nelson out of Okachi, running fifth. Now we have Keith falling out, and Al Schill Jr. in the number 5 spot is Jerry Eckert on lap 7 now. Through the first turn, leading Laplander and opening up some distance between himself and the guy running number 2. And we see car 89 going to the outside. Mike Egan trying to work into the number 3 spot, which he has done now, and Ron Reagan is 4th. And Keith Nelson has moved into number 5 as he challenges Reagan for that 4th spot and may get past him. Jerry Eckert on lap number 9. He is the leader, with Mike Laplander out of Heartland running second. And in car 89, running third, that is Mike Egan.
And Jerry Eckhart again, the unofficial leader. He will be official after he crosses the scale. All these cars have to weigh in with driver at a minimum 2,800 pounds. So we keep saying unofficial because it's not official until after the race is over and those cars have weighed in. He's doing a fine job officially up in front for the moment with 11 1/2 laps in. 16 against Steve Paoli, working around 0 Ron Reagan as Reagan slides back through the field. Paoli, first time here, I believe, last season as he's run Kaukauna, the Wisconsin International Raceway. There's a 6-race series between Slinger and the track in Kaukauna, the Red, White, Blue State Championship Series. So Steve Paoli has seen action here, but he continues to strive and to improve with those extended features coming up later on the season. I talked to his brother, and he said that yes, indeed, they're here to more or less test for the upcoming events. So Paoli doing a fine job there. Running in that 4th position is the 59 of Keith Nelson. The leader up and away is 61 Jerry Eckhart, but we're bunching up for that 2nd position as we have now reached that 15 lap mark with 10 laps remaining, Dwayne.
Mike Reichenberger out of Oshkosh is moving up. He is now running, I believe, 4th as he is pushing Nelson and Laplander, Jerry Eckhart, as we are on lap 15. There you see Laplander at number 76. And you see Nelson in 89, and there is Reichenberger in car 5 from Oshkosh, moving up quite nicely right on the back side now, back end of Laplander. Eckhart in 61, he is the leader. As you see Jerry going through turn 3, coming down the straightaway once again, here on the quarter-mile oval at Slinger Speedway. Glad you're with us here on Speedway Sunday. Dwayne Mosley and Jim Trado and Bill Kremering. There is Mike Reichenberger. He is running 3rd. In fact, he has moved up into 2nd place now, ahead of Laplander.
And impressive charge by Reichenberger and the 16 of Steve Paoli now working on the outside of Mike Laplander. Laplander staying with that inside groove. It's a faster way around on the inside, but obviously Steve Paoli hooked up, as they say, very much a charger in this semi-feature with less than 5 laps now with Jerry Eckhart pouring into turn number 3 to complete lap number 21 this time by.
And Mike Laplander has slipped into 5th now as Keith Nelson out of Okachi moving into the number 4 spot, and we have car number 21 out of turn 2. That is Scott Shaney of Slinger doing a little spin out. He is back moving again as we are on the 22nd lap of 25. Jerry Eckhart of Watertown won this event 2 weeks ago. He is the leader with Mike Reichenberger of Oshkosh unofficially 2nd, and Steve Paoli running number 3.
Paoli really putting a lot of pressure in the closing laps as they go in to the back straightaway portion of this quarter mile, and it's down to the final laps now. One more lap. The white flag is out, signifying 1 lap for this car, the 61 of Jerry Eckhart.
And Jerry makes his way through turn 3, number 4, and headed for the checker, and he has it. Number 61, Jerry Eckhart, unofficially the winner here of the 25-lap late model semi-feature. Mike Reichenberger in 2nd, Steve Paoli 3rd, Keith Nelson running fourth, and Mike Laplander running number 5.
Steve